ceremony and session for this evening, January 9th, 2024, of the Board of Education for Palm Springs Unified School District. We welcome you and we appreciate you joining us online or in person tonight and every day that you get to come up and see us or meet with us. We appreciate it. So today is Tuesday, January 9th, and I will now call the meeting to order and begin with roll call. So, Karen Cornett? Here. Mr. Sergio Espericueta?
Here.
Mr. Charlie Irvin?
Here.
And Mr. John Girardi? So we mark Mr. Girardi as absent. Thank you. So we proceed to item 1B. If you would please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance led by our student board member, Matthew Pozuelos. Please remain standing also after this for a moment of silence.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we remain standing as we observe a moment of silence for a dedicated employee, Eugenie Adamo, worked for Palm Springs Unified School District from 1995 until 2014. She dedicated 19 years as a school administrative secretary to our students and district. Thank you. Next, our mission statement is going to be read by our student board member, Lota Uyawune, and she'll read our mission statement for our district. Go ahead, Lota.
All members of Palm Springs Unified School District are united in our commitment to equity. We create deep, meaningful learning opportunities, build professionalism, and engage parents and community to ensure success for all students. All students graduate with the skills, capacities, and confidence needed to succeed in a rapidly changing world.
Thank you, both Matthew and Lota. Next, we'll look at approving the agenda. Item 2. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Move for approval. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Excellent. For item 3, we'll introduce our Cathedral City High School Student Board Member, Lota Uyawune, and Mount San Jacinto Student Board Member, Matthew Pozuelos. Up first, we have Lota. Go ahead, Lota.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lota, and this is my CCHS November through December report. So we're going to be going over academics, sports, arts, and our IB trip. So senior update. Seniors spent November and December completing college applications and attending workshops with our college and career guidance specialists to help them build their scholarship portfolios, which will make them eligible for local scholarships around the valley. ASB traveled to Anaheim to enjoy a day at Disneyland and attend our annual leadership conference, CATA, where we got to meet students from schools across Southern California and share ideas on how to improve our campus. During our final week before break, ASB hosted a Winter Spirit Week. Monday was Merry Monday, wear red or green. Tuesday was Candy Cane Day, wear stripes. Wednesday was Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. Thursday was PJ Day, and Friday was Santa's Workshop Day. Our admin provided breakfast for our staff as a way of showing staff appreciation. And students completed finals week before heading off to break And just last week, some students completed winter intersession to help boost their GPAs. And now moving on to sports. Our sports teams have been working very hard this season with tough practices and tough matches. Girls soccer has had a successful start to their season with 5 wins and 4 ties. Boys soccer has also had a successful start to their season with 5 wins and 3 ties. Our girls water polo have had a great start to their season, winning their most recent game against Franco Mirage. Our girls basketball team have been fighting hard this season, winning games against both Indio and Desert Mirage. Although our boys basketball team are 2-15, they show up every week playing their best. Boys wrestling has been working hard all season with grueling practices and tough league matches and tournaments. And our Lady Lions have had a phenomenal start to their season, most recently winning a tri-meet against Banning and Indio. Our cheer team volunteered and performed at Cathedral City's Autism Walk. And congratulations to our esports team, Team Uproar, who won the Riverside Finals and remain undefeated. And now moving on to our arts. Congratulations to our Royal Regiment, who placed 4th at the state championship. Our marching band also performed at the Toscana Country Club Marine Delight. Our band held their annual Bandorama featuring performances for marching bands across the Coachella Valley. And our Ballet Folklorico has continued performing at parades and with our marching band. They also just held their first annual Christmas show featuring dances from Jalisco, Veracruz, and more. Our choir had a multitude of performances this winter at the Palm Springs Tramway, the Canyon Community, and more. They also performed at our dance showcase before hosting their own annual holiday concert. Our dance department held their annual winter showcase featuring performances from our dance team and dance classes. And our jazz and symphony bands had their winter concert featuring a student-made composition and student solos. Many of our performing groups were also featured in the Palm Springs Lights Parade. And now moving on to the IB trip. Our IB diploma students had the wonderful opportunity to travel to Lisbon, Portugal for a 1-week educational trip. They spent some time with Portuguese grannies making arts and crafts and learning how to embroider. On another day, they spent some time touring Lisbon, interviewing the locals, and they attended a Benfica versus Inter Milan Champions soccer game. The following day, our IB students learned how to make traditional Portuguese pastries. And on day 5, our diploma students went surfing and cleaned up a beach. Now moving on to my Nellie Kaufman Middle School November through December report. NCMS's Power Girls group, run by counselors Ms. Flores and Mrs. Rodriguez, took the group to Disneyland. Avid students took a field trip to UCLA's I'm Going to College event at the Rose Bowl Stadium. The second annual Family Literacy Night, where students and families could come together and bond, was a huge success, with local community members and vendors attending and past students volunteering. Students competed in the annual Spelling Bee, where Brandon Kleinfelter was the winner and Elena Gutierrez and Tiffany Vasquez were runners-up. 3 NCMS students, Valentina, Leo, and Yuretsi, were chosen as holiday banner artists by the city of Palm Springs. They were honored by having their banners displayed downtown for the holiday season. 2 of Nellie Kaufman's special education teachers curated a graduation for a student who exited the program. It was an incredibly special event for both the student and the teachers. NCMS students joined the CCHS choir for their annual winter concert. They also hosted a Winter Spirit Week to kick off the holiday season. They had Pajama Day, Winter Hat or Scarf Day, Twin Day, Ugly Holiday Sweater or Flannel Day, and Wear Red, White, Green, or Blue Day. And the science fair took place for the first time in a few years, and 6 students were chosen to advance to the district competition. Now moving on to the CCE November through December report. CCE students created sugar skull designs with recycled materials. They also held their first PTG family movie night, which fundraised for classroom supplies, student rewards, and their Pride store. 434 CCE students had perfect attendance or only missed one day of school during November, which qualified them to attend a cookie party. And that concludes my report. Thank you for watching.
Well done. Did you bring some friends or ASB team? Hello, ASB team. Thank you for coming. Let's give CCHS a hand. Thank you. All right, Matthew, you ready?
Good evening, everyone. I am Matthew Pozuelos. This is my January. This is my report for January. This is our basketball from the January season. Both the boys and girls teams from the EWEC campus and CC campus had a very good season. The EWEC won multiple games for the first time in their school history. These are photos from our students playing the basketball games. And this is our Ride the Wave of Kindness. These are all of our teachers from our CC campus celebrating the kindness wave. Spirit Week at our Cathedral City campus, we had Pajama Day, Santa's Workers, Candy Cane, juniors wear red and seniors wear white, anything but a backpack, and Flannel Friday. These are also pictures from the CC campus Pajama Day. And then this is also the Pajama Day for the EWEC campus. Also at our CC campus, we had a student go and perform a rock concert in the middle of a lunchtime. This is the Third Eye Writing Journal presentation run from Dr. Mance. The writing is about the students, their poetry, short stories, and reflections. We had 43 students graduated at the end of quarter 2. Graduating seniors enrolled at COD. Esports teams at CC campus, they did the semifinals appearance. And then this concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Did you bring friends from MSJ? Is there anyone here yet? Not yet, not tonight. All right. Well, they're missing out on a great presentation. All right. Okay, so with that, and our presentations from our student board members, we will now proceed to public comments. And this is item 4. And first we ask Board Member Clerk Cornett, have we received any email comments?
Yes, we have received 3 electronic comments which have been distributed to the Board of Education.
Okay, thank you. So this evening, as we look at having our public members who want to talk to us and present their ideas to the board, we have 3 speaker cards. And I'm just going to remind the speakers that all of the comments are to be directed to the board and be under 3 minutes. Clerk Cornett will be timing, and you can see the time up here in front. They shall be devoid of any personal attacks, and members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during public comments. We as board members do not respond during public comments, just so that the 3 speakers know how we work in our meeting. So let us proceed with Ashley Randall. Would you come up, please?
Good evening, my name is Ashley, and I'm sure most of you remember me from last month's board meeting. Since October, I've attempted to reach out to the district in regards to staffing, education, and safety at Bubbling Wells. I specifically requested to speak to the Director of Special Education, and I have never heard from her. I would think with over $150,000 salary a year would make her be able to pick up a phone or answer an email. Instead, I was referred to the district's program coordinator, who couldn't answer my questions or provide explanations, and by her own admission said she had never even visited the school. The day after I spoke with her, 2 autistic children eloped. One was my son. He went missing for almost an hour. The other child was found completely off campus. My request for a formal incident report had been met with discrepancies, inaccuracy, and blatantly false information, while the other mother was denied an incident report completely. Your program coordinator stopped responding to my emails while there were still unanswered questions about the incident, and I would assume with $100,000 a year, it only covers so much coordinating. I've passed all the volunteer applications, including being fingerprinted, and yet the incident with my son, I've had leadership at Bubbling Wells concocting new policies not found within the school or district's handbooks. I would not understand why the school doesn't want parents to be involved, to spend their free time contributing to their community and your schools, free of charge from your budget, I might add. I was contacted by a board member after I spoke last month, and I was reassured things would be looked into. I was promised I'd receive a phone call the week before school because with issues with transparency and safety, I was not sending my son to school. I was assured I'd have a meeting with the superintendent, and none of these things happened. I showed up yesterday morning to the school to see nothing changed. The winter break is not an excuse because I am aware that you still have your custodians work during the break, and if they can take time out of their vacation to polish chairs, you guys can take time to sit in them and make a phone call. I'd like all of you to stop for a moment, to stop clutching your pearls on what you assume is my harshness or disrespect, and remember that I'm a mother who wants what every parent wants, for my kids to be safe, happy, and successful. Remember that my son, like many others in SPED, is limited in speech. He can't tell me if he had a bad day, got hurt, or someone was mean to him, and special needs children are 7 times more likely to be abused. He also can't tell me good things. He can't tell me if he liked his lunch that day, if he learned something new, or if he made a new friend. Can you imagine the kind of trust myself and others are giving you with our children that are that vulnerable? And imagine what fierce protectiveness this would put in a parent for their child to be treated with such negligence and indifference. I would like to think leadership in this district and board members went into these career paths because you cared about kids, you wanted better for the future and your communities. I'm not quite sure where you lost it, where you started cutting corners, getting lazy, or caring more about job advancement rather than job achievement, but your younger selves would be ashamed and embarrassed. I told you last month I wasn't going to stop until I saw change, and I meant every word. I told you that the board answers to its constituents, but you need to remind your district it answers to the California Department of Education, who investigate violations to the Individuals with Disabilities Act, non-compliance with IEPs, and FAPE, which is free and appropriate public education. If everyone thought ignoring me or giving me empty promises was going to pacify me, you are sorely mistaken and have seriously underestimated me. I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Ms. Ashley. Ms. Randall. Next up, we have Mr. Jim Novak.
Good evening, Board and Superintendent Senior A. My name is Jim Novak, and I've been a homeowner and taxpayer in the Palm Springs Unified School District since 2004. I was the Assistant Superintendent Business Services in Palm Springs Unified from 2004 through 2011. I am now retired and plan to stay in Palm Springs forever. I love Palm Springs, and we're very lucky to have an outstanding school district. We have a great leader and an outstanding cabinet. Palm Springs Unified has worked hard over many years to build trust within the community. That starts with the board that has always tried their best to do the right thing for its 20,000 students in our community. One department in particular that I don't know if this is on, of our community has been the facilities department. The leader and the staff are outstanding. The facilities in Palm Springs Unified look great. With the work that you've done with the facilities in the district the last 20 years, you've earned the trust the taxpayers have given you. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of the district and a vocal supporter of its programs and activities, and I will be a big supporter of future bond measures to ensure that our facilities' needs are met, are kept in outstanding condition. But there is a right time and a wrong time to ask the community to support a bond measure. It is my understanding that the board is considering a bond election in 2024. This is the wrong time. Just 3 years ago, tax rates in our school district were just over $100 per $100,000 of assessed valuation. They are now around $150 per $100,000. For many years, Palm Springs Unified's tax rate was in the bottom half of Riverside County school districts. Since 2022, our tax rate is now at the very top of Riverside County and one of the highest in the state. The tax rate in Palm Springs Unified has almost tripled in the last 15 years. At the same time, the tax rate of our neighbor to our east is only about one-half that of Palm Springs Unified at $7. Proposed new bond measure promises to keep their tax rate at or below $5 for several years. Please wait a couple of years for the district to actually start paying down the balance of Measure E and Measure I debt and reducing the tax rate, or asking the voters to pay more for the next several years. I have a lot more to say about why this is the wrong year and the wrong time for a bond election, but I'm limited in my comments. If any board members would like to discuss this issue further with me, the superintendent has my contact information, and I would be more than happy to meet with any of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. Okay, our third speaker is here, Sean Clark. Mr. Sean Clark.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean Clark, and I'm the co-founder of the For Shay J Foundation. 8 years ago, my wife Ginger and I started the For Shay J Foundation after the tragic death of our son riding a skateboard without a helmet. We go into the schools and we educate the kids on the importance of helmet safety. In 2017 through 2020, we attended 20 schools in the Palm Springs Unified School District and handed out over 2,300 helmets at a cost of $57,000 that was donated from our foundation to your school district. We are requesting permission to come back into the school district to speak to the kids again. Due to COVID, we were cut short, and we only were able to attend 20 schools. One of our greatest success stories comes from your school district. There was a young man at Nellie Kaufman Middle School. His name was Gabriel. When we attended the school, Gabriel had filled out on his survey he didn't need to wear a helmet. He was an experienced rider. After our hearing our presentation, Gabriel came up to me and he said, "Coach Clark," he said, "I'll wear a helmet for Shay J if you'll give me one." About 2 months later, I received a phone call from the deputy police chief at Cathedral City, thanking my wife and I for what we were doing in the community. And I thanked him for the call, and he said, "No, you don't understand." He said, "Last night there was a young man who was out on Date Palm who was riding a skateboard. The young man was struck by a car. He went flying 20 feet into the air before he hit the ground, and he broke his arm, broke his ribs, scratched his face. There was a hole in the side of the helmet that Gabriel had received from our foundation that saved his life. We're asking again that you allow us to come back into the school district so that we can finish this year and start 2024 and continue our message that we share with the community. We have statistic proof that after we attend a school, there is a 75% increase in helmet awareness. And one of the messages that we get to the children is to police themselves. And we find that 65% of the children are starting to police themselves after our presentation. I thank you for your time tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Okay, next, with our in-person comments, we'll proceed to number 5, board member comments. And so I think I'm going to start a new tradition and just start at the last chair and move this way, okay? So it's predictable. We'll wait a few minutes. Okay, thank you. So if Mr. Girardi was here, we would start with him, but we'll proceed now with you, Mr. Sperriqueta.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. And first, I want to start to say a happy new year to everyone. This is the first meeting of the year. And also, I want to congratulate the student board member all the time presenting a great report. Thank you. Also, thank you, parents, members of the community for sharing your concern with us. We listen or read your comments, and we take this seriously. My comment will be very short. I want to congratulate again Dr. Signoret for being officially the superintendent of the school district. And I want to start to thank you, Erica, Monica, for the fast response when I direct parents' concerns to your office, to your, usually is something that I'm think double about to think is correct or not, but I say my point of contact the superintendent, and I do that, and thank you for your response. And 100% at the times, everything is done in the right way, and parents are happy with that. Thank you. Is it? That's my short comments this night.
Thank you. Board Member Irvin?
Yeah, I also want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. It's a new year. A lot of great things that are going to be happening here in the upcoming year. I want to say thank you to the board members, student board members, for their presentation. You guys always do a wonderful job, and we really appreciate you. Mine as well is also a little short. During the Christmas, before the Christmas break, I went to the Rio Vista Christmas show as well as the Vista Del Monte. And I just want to say, a special thanks to Vista Del Monte. They had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas program. They shot confetti everywhere. The kids were all happy. The band director did a wonderful job, or the choir director did a wonderful job. He was energetic. The kids were having fun, and I just want to say thank you, and you guys did a wonderful job. Next, I would like to acknowledge that it's January 15th is Martin Luther King's birthday. So I hope that some of our schools are doing some wonderful things for MLK. There are a couple events that will be going on here in the Valley. One in particular, on January 14th at 2 p.m., the Martin Luther King Committee has been in place for 38 years. They have a wonderful event that's going to be at La Quinta High School. The reason for La Quinta High School is because this specific event believes in spreading it out throughout the Coachella Valley. So each year it's at a different location. So this year it just happens to be La Quinta High School. Next, for more information, there's a phone number. It's 760-323-8271. And that's the phone number to reach out to that organization. As well, we have February with Black History Month coming up. There's quite a bit of events. I'll speak a little bit more on that on the next meeting, but I just wanted to acknowledge that this is the 36th year of the Black History Parade downtown Palm Springs. And there's also the 14th annual Black History Gala that will be happening on February 3rd at 6 p.m. And that's kind of what I have for my report.
Okay. I'd like to thank the people who provided public comments tonight. The board always welcomes the public to come and give your input. Also, I hope our administration is responding to the concerns of our parents that are here tonight, and that we've got in our public, our internet comments about special ed. So I hope that's being taken care of. And if not, I'm sure we'll hear from Ms. Randall again. Thank you to Lola and Matthew for your great reports. And also, I hope everybody had a safe and healthy and wonderful winter break. Looking forward to the next few months. Before the winter break, I got to attend Sunny Sands Musical Theater, The Lion King, in December under the direction of 5th grade teacher Marge McGuyan. It was congratulations to the cast and the staff and volunteers. It was a fantastic performance. And that's about it. Thank you.
Well, officially, this is my first meeting, and I am excited and honored, and I am privileged to be elected to represent the students and the community and our parents in Palm Springs Unified. And so first with that, I am so appreciative of a wonderful group of people, not only here, but behind the scenes, and I'll mention that in closing comments. Tonight, I see that we are doing the hard work sometimes, and we have to listen to people that might need more support. And we appreciate our comment cards and our parents who communicate to us, and I want to say that we are listening. Not only are we listening, but we are proactive. And that's one thing that I really bring to the surface as a positive and a strength in our district. So with that, I will connect with our superintendent, as Ms. Cornett said, and we will work together to problem solve and meet the needs of every single student. And that is a dedicated commitment to our parents, our students, and to our community, okay? So that's the first thing I want to say. So as a board president, I am the leader of a great group of very dedicated board members. And I'm elected to represent our district and our areas equally. And so as you see my colleagues here, we professionally work together to help understand and make good decisions and policies that help to run our district. And that is really our job, in my opinion. And we care very much, and this is more than a job. It is actually a passion. And Jimmy Buffett said something like that if it's work, then it's not really what I want to do. So I want to say that here, our student board members, our cabinet, our technology people, our ASL interpreters, our Spanish interpreter, Ms. Angelica Ortiz, our security, our Luis, our people that here support us are really needed and very important. So gratitude to all of you. As I reflect back on these past weeks, I really didn't have a chance to attend many events due to my commitments in my work. But I did have a chance. My husband loves Barry Manilow, so we did get to see our students perform with Barry Manilow, and Ariabel Laxamana do a solo with Barry Manilow, and our MTU students who helped support him near the closing numbers of at the McCallum Theater. Additionally, it was exciting to attend the Community Giving Day on Saturday. It was December 16th, and I got to meet the Grinch and play games and participate in many of the wonderful activities, watch the exciting gifts the students were receiving, pet the camels. What an event. Families that were invited really we're excited to appreciate the great number of details that the Parent Engagement Center planned for this amazing event. So thank you to all of the team that worked on the Community Giving Day. So I show and tell about this wonderful new communication book for December 2023, and I've earmarked so many different new ideas that I didn't learn about or know about. And so if you have a chance, please visit, and the schools, they're hard copies, right, Ms. Boyko? They're hard copies. And so you will see so many innovative programs across the district. I'm just going to talk about Cathedral City High School, the Stopping Mental Health Stigma, a program called All Ask, Listen, Link program. There are so many amazing happenings in this district. It is unbelievable. Also mentioned is Will Carr and the startup of our drone work in our elementary schools. Ellen Goodman working with our foundation and our district arts coordinator, Ms. Barbara England, and the M2U production of Cry Baby coming. So I have to say, we have business services here speaking to us. We have attendance and student services addressed, and our human resources people are also informing us about what's happening in the district. So I commend all of the people that are included here in this publication. However, there's more behind the scenes, and we are so excited to offer, and I'm not sure if our superintendent will talk about winter camp. Yes? Winter camp? Yes, yes. Okay. But to offer winter camp for our students, and he'll tell you more, to offer professional development for teachers while they are off for winter break. So across this district, we are Palm Springs Unified strong, and we will continue to grow to meet the needs of every student. Thank you. Okay, so next we'll welcome our superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Terrell. Well, first of all, just like the rest of the board, I just want to say Happy New Year's to everybody as well. Welcome back. I hope you had a great time off. I know personally it was very active, very fun, but very far from relaxing for me and my family. It was, but still, nonetheless, a wonderful time. But since being back, we have hit the ground running. We visited so far 4 school sites just in the last 2 days. That would be Nellie Kaufman, Agua Caliente, Rancho Mirage Elementary, Catherine Finchy, and had the pleasure of doing those visits with our Ed Services team, Dr. Kovacs, Dr. Killian, Mr. Arnold, and Mrs. Whiteman. And it was wonderful to see staff, students, just right at it. Day one and even today, they were back at work doing some outstanding lessons and activities in a brief period of time. I do want to take advantage also of this opportunity to give a big kudos to Coach Hamner of Rancho Mirage High School for putting on the Desert Holiday Classic. That basketball tournament took place during winter break, and I took my son, Jordan, to watch a few games at Palm Springs High and at Rancho Mirage High. So well organized. Kudos to athletic directors Steve Avina, Eddie Martinez. We had over 100 teams participate from across California, across the country, even internationally, a team from Germany and Canada. Outstanding tournament. So I want to really kudos to all of them. Just real quick, switching gears, excuse me, just want to remind the board that during our next board meeting on the 23rd, we'll have a study session at that time to address the state of the district format as the board had requested, and looking at future opportunities to consider as far as format, how many options, and how to conduct that. So that'll be the topic of our next study session on the 23rd. Excuse me. I also want to take a moment real quick to give kudos to our PSLA Administrators of the Year. PSLA is our administrative leadership group as part of AXA, and every year they nominate administrators for AXA Region 19 honors. So for the Fred Kiesel Memorial Award, Shane Hagar, Dr. Simone Kovatz, Valuing Diversity Award, Omar Tinoco as high school principal, Sue Drummond, middle school principal of the year, Mandy Gonzalez, elementary principal of the year, Amber Gascoigne, central office administrator of the year, Marty Hagar, elementary co-administrator, Sean Pendergraph, secondary co-administrator, excuse me, Brian Hendra, human resources administrator, Laura Dyson, student services, Jody Curtis, special education, Abdul Buzrud, business administrator, Tammy Hio, classified administrator, Jessica Whiteman for curriculum and instruction, and last but not least, Bhavani Patel for technology administrator. So kudos to all of them, well-deserved recognitions for all those PSLA folks. Relative to winter camp, it was a wonderful success. I got a lot of teasing, though, that if I didn't get injured going down the slide, but it was not as steep as it looked in the video. I was more concerned if I could just get myself out of the inner tube with my bad knees. So, but the activities there are just absolutely phenomenal. I had the pleasure of riding with Amber Gascoigne during to go to the farm. Spoke to her about the camp, and one of the things I really have to praise her for is that being the first in a position is not unique. In other words, I had the distinct honor of being the first HR certificated director for Palm Springs Unified, but there were other HR certificated directors that you can get a blueprint from. There's other colleagues, other districts where you can get some ideas. Amber came into a position of expanded learning that there was no previous blueprint for. And even as we were creating that job description, we really didn't know exactly what we were creating. And to see the program that she has been able to create, the vast programs across the district, is truly remarkable. And no doubt she deserves all the recognitions. But the winter camp has been a huge success. I think it was nearly 700, 800 students that participated in the winter camp. And we're going to continue promoting expanded learning in those camps. So thank you, President Jarrell, for bringing that up. But they're doing an outstanding job in that regard. One thing I do want to, just switching gears really quick also, relative to public comments, Ms. Randall, completely understand any miscommunication that may have taken place in following up with you. I don't know where that miscommunication happened, but we take full responsibility for that. And so we'll make sure that we will follow up with you directly. But again, our apologies for any miscommunication, but we will follow up. And also, thank you, Dr. Novak, for being here. Always great to see you. And we'll definitely thank you for sharing your thoughts, and we'll be following up on that as well. Okay. And last but not least, I really want to give a huge welcome back to Dr. Brian Murray. So glad to be here to help us out during this time. I kind of would have done the Welcome Back Cotter kind of song for you, but you keep on coming back. But it's good to see you here. So, all right. So thank you. That concludes my report.
Excellent. I appreciate that you went into more detail to tell everyone about the camp. It was amazing seeing all the video and pictures. Okay, with that, we'll move into item 7, board action items. Approval of Consolidated Application Reporting Systems, CARS, CARS for 23-24 OE 10. So, can I get a motion to approve 7.A?
I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is there any new money that is going to school, or is this the total money that was given for the Title I budgets? Is this their money for the entire year? Okay. I mean, I noticed that some of the schools have, it says like 50,000, 185,000. That's not new money coming to them for the school year. This was their budget for the school year. Okay. With the fall, okay. I thought, oh, hot dog, they got new money, but, okay. That's just with the carryover. Okay, thank you.
My apologies for not asking to see if there were any questions. Are there any other questions from the board members before we've already motioned, correct?
Mhm.
And now, we had a second?
Mhm.
Okay. Then all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Next, we look at 7B, approval of annual renewal services, Super Co-op SY 2024-25 for nutrition services, OE 6.3. Can I get a motion to approve 7.B?
Move for approval?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we look at 7C, approval of designation of applicant's agent resolution for non-state agencies. Cal OED ID number 065-91129. Can I get a motion to approve 7C?
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
7D, approval of license agreement with Skyborn Ventures LLC and Lennar Homes for entry into Palm Springs Unified School District property located in Desert Hot Springs, OE 12.12. Can I get a motion to approve 7D?
Move for approval?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. We'll move on to 7E, and we look at approval to award contract C000048606, architectural services for the Bubbling Wells Elementary School modernization of existing multi-purpose room, administration, library, portion of site work, and new construction to Renal Clark Architects, OE 12.11. Can I get a motion to approve 7E?
I move the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
I think you need a
Or
second.
Second, I'm sorry.
I'll second it.
Yes, all in favor?
You have questions?
Oh, I should have missed that. I wanted to ask for questions. Were there any questions? Okay,
I do have a question.
thank you.
On what we're approving right now is just the design for Phase 1. Is that correct? For Bubbling Wells. And as we move forward for this modernization, I would hope we would keep up to date on how much the actual cost is for the modernization.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
We'll make
thank
sure
you.
that you are updated
Regularly?
regularly.
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
Okay. So we did motion and we did pass, yes?
You need to
Oh, we
vote.
need a vote now. Here we are. Okay, can I get a vote to approve this item?
All in favor?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye, thank you. Okay, so next, we will move to 7G. And we'll look at approval of an
We need F.
F, I'm sorry, F. Thank you. 7F, approval of a change order, number 2, with Desert Concepts Construction for building 500 Increment 1 rebuild at Desert Learning Academy. Agreement number C0004263OE 12.8. So, we look at a change order. Before I ask for a motion, is there any discussion or questions from the board? There, Mr. Esparragueta? Okay. Ms. Cornett? Okay. So, can I get a motion to approve 7F?
Move for approval?
A second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we look at 7G, approval of increased budget for Landau Elementary School Modernization Project OE 12.11. And we would like to maybe have some discussion about this item. Is that correct? Is that right?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So would you like to start with any questions about this modernization project?
Did you want?
Well, yeah, actually, could we have Mr. Simmons just
Mr.
provide a little
Simmons
bit of a
gonna-
background?
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
And then-
That's why.
Absolutely. I
Right.
didn't know if we were going to do questions or you just
Yes,
wanted me to provide a
okay.
little bit of background. So as you know, this is a significant increase to the original budget. And it's my understanding that the board hasn't been regularly updated at facilities meetings. We'll make sure that that does happen and that budget does come to you each time with any new changes that we have at that particular moment. So I know that this is a bit of a shock. It was a shock to us as well. So basically, construction costs and materials have increased by over 40% since COVID. And as you know, we got that original estimation from our architects back around that COVID time. The other thing is there's about $9.5 million in additional time, which the project got extended from 18 months to 32 months. So it's probably going to be more like 3 years, about 36 months. Therefore, we had to put in temporary housing, which was about $4 million. We also included 2 additional TK classrooms that wasn't on the original one. That was wasn't estimated in for the new TK classrooms. And then also now we're updating with electronic door locks, which is about another $1.5 million. So those are the type of add-ons and stuff that have kind of come into place since that original budget has happened. So there's been a few add-ons, and then also construction costs and materials. And then as those costs increase, so do your other fees. DSA fees are based on the percentage of the actual project, and then so is the architect fees. So those fees also increase. But a lot of it is that construction budget that we just didn't know until we went out to, until we took it to bid. But there were some more add-ons as well. So.
Quickly, for the public, can you let us know what the difference is? I know we have it in front of us, but can you let us know what the difference in pricing is?
Sure, this one is Landau that we're talking about. The difference is $35,699,703.86 from the original budget, which was $39,604,144. So for a total of $75,303,847 and 86 cents.
I have a few questions. I know it says here that we approved in February 11th, 2020, and at that time, we approved $4 million for a design phase only. And then we got the first budget for Landau and Sunny Sands, excuse me, on January 26, 2021. And we were asked for potential action pending board direction for Landau and Sunny Sands modernization reports. This was the first time the budgets were presented, and that was January 2021. Since then, we've had 8 different facility study sessions. In every single one of them, we have had the exact same budget. Exact. Even up until November 14th, 2023, the exact same budget. And I'm all for modernization. These schools need to be updated. We've got them pulled apart now. I mean, we're kind of at we have to approve this. We cannot approve it. However, I think from a board member standpoint, I'm very, very disappointed in facilities not keeping us abreast of all of these increases. I mean, we had many discussions before we finally approved this at one of these, maybe in January of 23, or maybe it was July, I'm not quite sure, if for us to go ahead with it. Where would we get all of this money? Because we have other schools that are torn apart now, James Workman, and we're looking at Cathedral City High School and going out to other also campuses. So I know you're new to your job, but this is something that facilities really should be keeping you abreast of, business service, and certainly the superintendent's office, and certainly the Board of Education, because as board members, it's really our responsibility to make sure financially that the district is sound. And we are looking at going out for another bond, and to me, this is like, I'm not sure how the public would view this.
Yeah,
I'm really disappointed in how this has come about.
I completely understand. As you said, that, you know, I will make sure that, you know, in the future we will get you these updated amounts. What happens is the architects are the ones who gives us the original amounts based on the current cost of construction per square foot and so forth. They estimate it all out, construction costs, DSA fees, and any other add-ons and stuff that we have. So each time we have a facility session, we'll make sure that the architect gives us an updated one for them, especially with construction costs changing so much. Past history, we're typically used to getting 5 to 15% changes, but now it's you know, these are very significant changes that are coming through to our district and others as well. But the board definitely should have been and should be and will be updated on a regular basis from now on. So.
Yeah, it's disappointing, 8 meetings since the original, that we were never told. Even when we had these really long discussions about where are we going to get this money, and can we go forward with James Workman, and can we go forward with Cathedral City High School modernization. And we're all for doing that as a board. We voted for it and we want to do that. But we need to be really told what is really the bottom line, and where is this money now coming from to pay for this increase? I mean, it's almost doubled.
Right. So we are going to be asking the board for the final series amount, which is about $98.5 million on the Measure I. So we'll be taking that. It's about a year ahead of schedule in order to be able to take care of this. As far as James Workman, so these two projects are going to be bond money that's going to be used, but James Workman is going to be developer fees that are going to be used for that particular the new classroom portion, and then the modernization portion will come from state OPSC funds that we'll be getting back from the state for the modernization money. So that one should be fine and going to it. As far as Cathedral City High School, we're going to get started with ESSER 3 funds, probably about 21 million or so, and then but it hasn't gone to bid yet. So we'll have to update you if it's going to increase. You gave us, I believe, as a $71 or $72 million budget, and we'll look to stick to that. But we'll definitely keep you updated. But that one is also it hasn't even been DSA approved yet. But we do have that money set aside from these bond proceeds, so we should be okay there. The other one, as far as future school modernizations, the one we're already starting. The next one would be Bubbling Wells. That's in line. We're going to use the portion of this bond money in order to get you're going to approve the architect today to get the design going, and then we'll look at some OPSC money and modernization money to developer fees and whatnot to kind of scratch together what we need for that particular one, because there's no more series left on the bond money. If we do decide to go out for an extension of the bond, it's not intended to increase the taxes at all. But I have had conversations with Dr. Novak that I'll be updating the board on once I get some more information. I do have a meeting coming up where Dale Scott and I are going to be meeting with the county, because they're charging, the tax rate is a bit higher than quite a bit higher than what we had anticipated and what we have calculated for the bond. So that's part of the issue here, that we're going to be meeting with the county and finding out why. They can set the tax rate, but it's usually not going to be that far away from our estimations. So anyway, that was kind of bird walking a little bit, but so we have intentions on future bonds and stuff for modernizations, but a lot of these modernizations are getting complete here, and with the current money that we have. The one I'm concerned about now is bubbling wells, but beyond that, we're going to be okay.
I know they're all going to look beautiful when we're done, and I'm totally supportive of it. It's just a shock to see something like this. So I know you'll keep us abreast in the future and
Absolutely.
keep your eye on it.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just curious, I want to add one more thing. So for, what does this difference in layman's term mean for our parents as well as for our cities?
It's really no change. You've already, the bond has already been approved. It's part of Measure I. It's no change. It's still the same amount that Measure I that we went out for before. So there's no change to.
So they won't see anything in their taxes or anything like that, or?
No.
Okay.
It's part of the original series of what they were expecting. There will be an increase from where they're at, but it's no more than what they should have been expecting from the original series. It's going to be about $10 per 100,000. But again, the county's charging a tax rate that is higher than what we're expecting. So we're going to be solving this problem, hopefully, with them. But it's going to be no more than what they were originally expecting, and what we originally estimated for them. So it's part of that. It's part of that same measure, Measure I.
Just to understand better, for this specific item, the 35 million is ready available. The money
It's what now?
is ready available. The 35 million is.
It is not. It's going to be we're going to need that final series in order to make sure it's completely funded. So the original amount is available, but now we need the new series to be approved. But the voters already voted on Measure I. It's already in place. Now this is the final series. This is the final amount. The $98.5 million is the final amount that us as a district is allowed to pull from Measure I.
Okay.
Okay. Would it be reasonable to not wait for study sessions and have fiscal updates added to our Friday reports or information on an ongoing basis, so that we are knowledgeable of what's happening and the information you find out for us?
That is a very reasonable request. Not a problem. I'm assuming it's when something new comes up.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It wouldn't be needed if there's no developments, but to add some summary or information so that we are kept abreast of in a timely manner. Is that okay? Does that sound okay for the board? All right. So with that, we look for getting a motion to approve our 7G, the increased budget for Landau Elementary School Modernization Project. Can I get a motion to approve item 7G?
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 7H, we look at approving an increased budget for Sunny Sands Elementary School modernization OE 12.11. Would you like to ask any questions about 7H?
It would just be the same questions I asked about Landau.
Okay. Any other, Mr. Espericueta or Mr. Irvin?
Yeah, I just want to, for public consumption, I just want the public to know that this item here, what is the difference, about $36 million from the initial?
That's correct. That's almost 36.5 million.
Okay, so I think this is the 95 million that you were speaking of. This is part of the 95 million that you were speaking of, combined with the two?
That's
From
correct.
last-
It's part of that. That's part of that Series B that will be asking the board to approve the final portion of the Measure I. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So with that, can I get a motion to approve 7H, the budget for the Sunny Sands Elementary School modernization project?
I move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, so with this next, we'll wait for the jet to pass a little bit. So with this next section of our meeting, we look at 7I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and we look at collaborating and working to bundle them or to consolidate them into one vote. And so these are essentially the adoptions of a resolution finding the transitional kindergarten improvements at Agua Caliente Elementary School and our other schools, Bella Vista Elementary, Bubbling Wells Elementary, Cabot Yurxa, Cahuilla Elementary, Cathedral City Elementary, Julius Corsini, Catherine Finchy, Rancho Mirage, Rio Vista, and Two Bunch Palms. And we are looking at exempting them from the California Environmental Quality Act, approving the filing and recording of a notice of exemption. So can I get a motion to vote for 7I through 7S in one vote for the transitional kindergarten improvements?
Move for approval?
Second.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a question. Let's take a question.
Okay, tonight, we're approving $50 filing fee, that's all,
50 million.
correct? That's what it says.
You understand it? Oh, sorry. You're approving that you understand that we believe this is exempt from CEQA and that we will
Yes.
be, yes, filing that for $50, yes.
All right, and so once we actually start doing this, are we going to be given the actual cost of what these modifications are? And then what is the budget that that's all coming from?
Absolutely.
And would we be given that before we vote on approving them, or, and know exactly where all that money's coming from?
Yes.
Okay.
And are there any other questions from board members? Mr. Irvin? Okay. Okay. So with that, can I get a motion to approve those items for 7I through 7S?
Move for approval?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, perfect. So we look at our next items, starting with item 8, superintendent consent items. If we look at these items, A through HI, we look at approving all of these items in one vote and one motion. So it would be approval of acceptance of gifts, approval of purchase order report, approval of agreements $10,000 or more, approval of memorandums of understanding, approval to file a notice of completion with ProCraft Construction for a touchless drinking fountain at various sites, approval to file a notice of completion with R Dependable Construction for an entrance lobby modification project at the district office, approval to file the notice of completion for Nutrition Service Central Kitchen walk-in freezer, and then approval to issue an invitation to bid for the installation of a metal shade structure at Julius Corsini Elementary School. Before we move for that, is there any discussion, or are any of you interested in asking any questions about any of these items? No? Okay. So with that, we're going to vote on items A through I. So can I get a motion to approve superintendent consent items A through I?
Move for approval.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so with that, we look at moving to our future and planning. Excuse me, we're gonna look at the past and approve the meeting minutes for December 12th, 2023. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
I move for approval.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next we look at suggestions for future agendas. Board Member Espericueta, would you have any suggestions for future agendas?
You know, actually I have the one suggestion. Actually this morning I read an article coming from CSBA when they share a lot of information, and this was related to San Diego School District Board. They voted to pass a resolution to pay student board members the same amount that pay for the board education. And the one is because the new bill that passed the assembly the last October, the bill 275, and was signed in law in the past October. And we read a little bit about the article. The article says compensating student trustees is about more than money. It is matter than equity. And they relate this because many of the students, especially our school district coming for low-income families, it's hard for them to spend time being the board members. And I think would be good support for them. And also, is we have the option or the resources available because this will be, part of the budget maybe. And I don't see any reason to delay this resolution. Maybe little by little the whole school board will start doing something similar. I think I had a conversation with Tony before about this.
Okay, so we don't vote on our recommendations for future agendas. We just ask each of you, are you interested in exploring this idea of paying student board members? Mr. Espericueta recommended it.
Usually, my understanding is if we decide this, will be under resolution. To be resolution has to be in one of the agenda items, one resolution related to this is something
Okay.
that can be in the future agendas.
Are you interested in seeing us explore a resolution to pay student board members?
I'm definitely interested in looking and see what, how the process works, how it's working. This is something that's new.
Yeah, the bill passed in the last October, 275, I think so, and the San Diego School District, the first one, and things.
So have they had a complete year already of this student board member?
Yeah, they passed the law in last October, but effective in January of this year.
Can I
Technically
step in?
Yeah.
We've actually, in the superintendent's office, have been exploring that as well. And we've reached out to San Diego Unified to see exactly what they're doing. They're the first ones in the state. The governor passed it last October to start this school year. So we're working on that already. So we'll have that for you guys.
Sounds good. I'm in support of
Okay.
kicking it around and seeing how it works.
Board Member
Yes,
Ornett, are you
absolutely.
interested?
Yes, absolutely.
So
Sounds
that's
interesting.
3 are interested, and I myself am interested in exploring that. And would you happen to be interested
Are
in
you
being
interested?
paid for being a student board
Are
member?
you interested in getting paid?
Yes.
And Matthew? Okay, so we have, go ahead.
I'm curious too, what if we could do something that's maybe a little more creative? I don't know, maybe scholarships. I don't know, maybe like keeping the money for a college scholarship or some sort of a way, or maybe after they graduate, collecting the money or something and then giving it to them as a gift versus having it, I guess, so that's something that maybe we can talk about and kick around and see.
Being
see about
flexible in some options.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I know that, like Eric said, we were bouncing around some ideas, even brainstorming some options. But sure, anything that, of course, was within the law that we can do, we will be glad to do so.
And I would like to get their input on it as well. So I would like them to be in on whatever.
So we have to strike
decisions made.
negotiations
Yeah.
with them.
Good deal. Is there anything else you'd like to recommend for a future agenda item?
No,
No.
that's it.
Okay, Board Member Irvin, would you like to recommend any future topics?
No, not at this specific time.
And Board Member Cornett? Okay, so with that, I would like to suggest that we discuss the contract that we have worked with on our Leadership Associates, Board Professional Development, and Annual Work Plan during an upcoming scheduled retreat day or time at the end of the month. And so we would come together in a planning meeting and talk about this particular topic and what the board might be interested in planning for some of our topics for the remainder of the year. So, Board Member Speriqueta, would you be interested in working in an agenda meeting to discuss topics such as the Leadership Associates?
Yes, I'm in favor of that. Also,
Contract?
it is possible, I want to know if we have 2 days retreat or one, because I need to request my days in advance, and it's a little bit close, I need
Yes, I understand.
at least 1 week or a little bit more is possible to know.
So we'll work to work out those details, okay? How about you, Board Member,
Yeah, I'm in support of it.
how about Board Member Cornett?
Yes, as long as we get to discuss it at our retreat, absolutely.
That's awesome. So 4 of us are interested in discussing this topic at one of our retreat days or sometime during that time.
Also during the retreat, we haven't really gone over also during our retreat, we haven't gone over all of our OEs and results, policies to really familiarize ourselves with them again, especially for new board members and old board members, just so that we're in the know,
Oh,
familiar with them.
well, that's a good suggestion.
I mean, and that takes a long time.
So that's a good suggestion, and I think that we will be working on developing a pacing schedule and plan for what we would like to do as a group
On those 2 days,
on those days.
great.
Or what times we are going to work and what dates, okay?
Okay.
Is that good? Are there any other comments that our board or student board members would like to make in closing? This is our setting for our next board meeting is January 23rd, 2024 at 6:00 p.m. Next, we call this the debrief. Matthew, do you have any closing comments or ideas that you might want to share?
I do got something I want to comment about, what you guys were talking about, the paying on that part. I think, yeah, it would be kind of fun to do it with where it's as a gift, pretty much. Whereas, like, you get surprises with it in the graduation. That'd be nice, because then we can use it for our scholarships, or if we need to buy, like, transportation to go to our schools or something like that. It'd be a big helping hand, honestly.
Thank you. Okay, what about our Beaver
Um,
City board member?
Just to add on that, I do think
Lada.
as a scholarship, it would be very useful
Lada.
just because college is expensive. So it would help us pay for things like books and maybe like just food and all of those things that come with the expenses of college.
Right. Board Member Speriqueta, closing debrief comment or summary? Board Member Irvin?
Good night. God bless.
Thank you. Board Member Cornett?
Buenas noches.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. My closing comment is I appreciate all of the people that helped me come to this spot in the middle. And it was always funny that I would really liked being by the students because I felt such comfort and cheer there, spirit. And it's exciting being here and being able to be the conductor and leader of our board. So with that, I would like to ask our superintendent, anything that you'd like to say for closing?
No, great first night, President Terrell. Thank you.
All right. So with that, I'm sorry.
One more thing, congratulations to you. I'm sorry I didn't get an opportunity to say congratulations. You look good in the seat.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. All right. So with that, we will look at our time at 7:22 p.m. and adjourn our meeting. Thank you, everyone. Oh, we need a motion to adjourn, not a blessing. All right. So we move to adjourn our meeting.
I move for adjournment.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.